Muted. Okay. Muted to just a minute. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. What's up, people? It's your man, ThaBlackCobra, back once again with the Real Life Show. That's right, positive reinforcement to this wonderful PEV game that we got going on. Personal electric vehicles, talking about all things electric, focusing mostly on electric unicycles, because that's my vehicle of choice, my favorite. But we talk one-wheels, we talk scooters, we talk cars, whatever. Electric vehicles you want to talk about, we can talk about. And today we're going to talk to another positive person. You guys know how I try and focus on the positivity. I try to maintain that here and in life. And I met another individual who was just as positive, and I had a great interaction with him at the Electric Games. So today our guest is going to be Nathan from Rev Rides. What's up, Nathan? How you doing, buddy?
Thanks for the great introduction. Good to be on here.
Yeah, man. Hey, you have I have heard your company so much. I've heard the name so much, but I had no interaction with you previously. And I'm like, well, there must be a lot of good things because I keep hearing, Kelly mention you and Shibby mentioning you, and so many people mentioning you and your company, that are closer over to you and all the things that you're doing in the community. And then I got a chance to meet you at the Electric Games. And like I said, my positive energy, I usually gravitate towards positive people. And instantly I was like, yeah, he's another one. So I just want to say it was a pleasure to meet you. And I'm glad that you're able to come on the show because it makes me happy to share your energy with other people. So I want to thank you for saying yes and coming on the show. And I definitely want to give you a spotlight today on Rev Rides and what you guys are doing for the PEV community. So I want to thank you, and I guess I want to start out by saying thank you. So talk to us, Nathan. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been in this community or in this genre, I guess? Where did you start? And give us a rundown on the history of Nathan.
Sure. Okay. I was working for Hewlett-Packard, traveling to Asia a lot for business trips. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I was working in operations, so I was responsible for like factory operations of their factories in China and Singapore, Malaysia. And I saw this guy on a 3-piece business suit rolling in on a scooter in Singapore back in 2016 or something. And I was like, man, I've got to get myself one of those. This is amazing. I want to commute on this because I would try to ride my bike to work, but it's just such a hassle with, you got to change clothes. You get sweaty. When you get to work, you got to take a shower. Mm-hmm. And I started a search to find the best electric scooter I could ride to work. And in that whole process, long story short, I decided to start Rev Rides. It stands for Recreational Electric Vehicles, REVs. I grew up riding dirt bikes a little bit, never raced, never had nice dirt bikes. My parents were missionaries, so we weren't a rich family, but my dad always made sure we had some sort of motorsport to play with, and we had go-karts and mini bikes, and I just loved it growing up, and saw this opportunity to start a business that is not only cost effective and practical, but it's super fun. It's a great form of recreation. And so Rev Rides was started, and in 2018 we launched our company and our website, and kind of the rest is history. I used to ride a pedal unicycle, like an old school pedal unicycle, in middle school and high school. So when I got word of the unicycles, I was in the electric scooter game already. Okay. When I heard about the unicycles, I was like, that's perfect for me. I've got to get into this game. And it's life-changing. So I absolutely love them.
Okay. Well, that's I appreciate that. But let me just take one side note. So guys, they say that I had an echo. Do I still have an echo now? Do you guys hear an echo now? I did change something. I made one change. I don't know if it's going to make an effect here. Do you guys still hear an echo on my microphone? I know, Nathan, you don't hear it. It sounds better, nope. Andrew? Okay, the echo was fixed. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, definitely. So, sorry about that, guys. I didn't, and normally I say what's up to everybody in the chat first, and I would have seen that. I would have seen that, but I didn't see it until you started telling us about yourself, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I got an echo? So, EUC Vibes, what's up, man? It's good to see you. Glad to see you in the house, buddy. He's always, as always, big supporter. That's my man. Holy Troller. Okay. Yeah, he said it was an echo. Ralph Langoria, what's up? What's up? Scott Sum. He said, yo, Snake. There's massive echoes. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm like, everybody mentioned it, which is great. Gives me the opportunity to catch it.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, Lewis, Doug, what's going on? Andrew, what's going on? So Wheelie Brady, what's up? He was out there with us. What's going on, Wheelie Brady? Jose, what's up? Jose Juarez, my man. I don't see you that often anymore, Jose. We haven't ridden together in a long time. So that's one thing you'll notice, Nathan. There's a lot of people who jump on that. And that's the reason I love doing this, because there's a lot of people that jump on here that I haven't seen in a while or haven't been able to ride with, but we can still connect here, even though briefly, which I love, bringing the community together. So, Nathan, first of all, let us see that shirt. I was just telling Nathan how I love his shirt. You've seen quite a few people with that shirt on. I love it. Throwback to Run DMC.
Yeah. You know where we got that idea? There's a news article in Portland about the Portland E-Riders group, which was founded by a guy who's no longer with us, passed away from a heart condition. But he would ride every single Friday and built this whole community up over many years before Rev Rides was around. Right. And that news article, in the photo of the news article, somebody's wearing a Run DMC shirt. And my marketing guy, Brett, was like, hey, we should do a shirt like that. It's Ride EUC. So we were the first ones, I believe, to do that shirt. It's been copied many times.
Yeah, I saw it a couple times. Don't think I didn't think about it. But but I was like, oh, never mind. They already got it. I'm not going to try it because I love it. I'm a huge Run DMC fan. And obviously, electric unicycles, I mean, really. So I was happy to see that shirt has been, Brian had it on, Seth had it on. I've seen so many people, Shibby with it on. And I'm like, it's a really great shirt. Brings back nostalgia from back in the day, but also brings together with what we're doing nowadays, today and what we love. So I'm definitely happy with that. So what's up to Livette and Francisco? My favorite EUC couple.
Yeah, I've got the chat going here too. So if I keep looking down, I'm looking at the chat, trying to engage there too.
That's good. That's good. So, I guess we'll talk about the Anth Electric games a little bit. Let's talk about that a little bit, because my experience there was amazing. I thought it was unbelievable, unrivaled. Nothing like it. And I think that Seth, even though he had tons of sleepless nights, and I told the guy, I said, please go to sleep for like a week after this is done, because he was definitely putting all in. But my experience was super positive. What about you? What would you say some highlights, and how was your overall experience?
Absolutely. What Seth pulled off in less than a year of planning was absolutely phenomenal. Seth and I had a few conversations probably 8 months before, maybe 6 months before. And it was, still just this dream that was kind of forming into a reality. Um, and he pulled it off. I think the community came beside him and really helped. That's, what I've seen in this whole community is why I love being so much a part of it is we've got a lot of events that we've done throughout the years. And most of those events only happen because of how great the community is supportive of
Mm-hmm.
and passionate about these products and this lifestyle. But yeah, it was pretty incredible. Getting all the way out to Bentonville, it was a little bit of a struggle. It's in the middle of nowhere, and
Yes.
Seth wanted us to sponsor in a bigger way. We've done a lot of events this year, and
Mm-hmm.
it was hard to it's just one more, and it's like, man, if I look at my our expenses on events this year was out of this world. So um, we decided to support in a repair center, mentality. And so we took a couple weeks to plan all the parts we needed. We palletized everything, shipped it all there. It was great. He had a facility that could receive stuff ahead of time, coordinated everything. When I showed up, our pallet of parts and tools was there ready to go. So outstanding job.
Yeah. See, and that was one of the things that I didn't realize how much of a shop you had on site at first, and then when several people were like, "Oh, they fixed this. Oh, they fixed that," and in the chat right now, EUC Vibes is talking about you and how you guys helped them. He said Nathan's an awesome CEO and writer. At Amped, he had the rare Sherman tube with him, and I was able to purchase it just in time. I also got that awesome hat he's wearing, leather strap.
Thanks, UC Vibes. Appreciate it, man. It was great
Yeah,
meeting you finally.
yeah. Tommy's a really great guy, and having him there was another. To me, it meant a lot because the fact that we had so many people from this come from way over here to make it there, and a lot of people were like, "Oh," there was a lot more people that wanted to, that couldn't make the journey because it was an undertaking. All I shipped was my wheel, and it was frustrating and stressful. So I know it had to be stressful for you with all the things that you shipped. But it was great having you guys there, and having you able to fix so many people's problems. You you have any idea how many people you help fix up?
No, I do remember Tosh, one of my employees, was putting together all the parts we were supposed to ship, and I was like, dude, like if we're gonna be getting to that point of repair, like we're just gonna tell the people, sorry, we can't fix your wheel. But he's like, no, we should send these, like controllers and motors and tires and tubes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like if that really happens, like we're just gonna tell people we can't fix it. But we shipped all this stuff and we freaking went through. So we probably sold like 6 or 7 tires, or sorry, tubes,
Hmm.
fixing flats. UC Vibes himself bought several for his friends back home that he was just going to take back home to him because he's like, there's nothing around us to get these parts. So
Yeah.
we brought him halfway there, I guess, and he's going to bring them the rest of the way.
That works.
Controllers, we replaced several controllers, S18, RS controllers. So it was quite the feat. And big shout out to I haven't ever met Sam Pachenko from AI Rides in New
Oh
York.
yeah, Sammy.
We've worked together and talked together, but we never met. So it was great to meet him. He brought a whole pile of parts as well and kept
Hmm.
people going and
He
wheels
did.
repaired and things swapped out. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a great community effort.
Yeah. Shouts out to Sammy and AI Rides. Appreciate you, buddy. I remember he went down at one point. He fell, and we're like, oh, shredded his clothes. Then he got up and came over where we were doing the commentating and talked to us briefly. So we were glad he was okay. That was another thing I guess I could say. I mean, we had quite a few people go down, but nobody seriously got hurt. We had a dislocated shoulder, I believe, and then Brett E-Rider A, he went up over the berm, and that scared the crap out of us because he was knocked out for a quick sec. But he turned out to be just fine. He was able to get up and walk to the ambulance with those guys. So, all things considered, it went really, really well. Wheelie Brady says Amp Games feels like it was a dream. It does. It really does. It was like our Disneyland, or it was like a dream come true. Everybody was there, and there were so many people that were there, and those that weren't were calling and video messaging and FaceTiming. Oh, what's going on? Oh, and so it was pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I'm another one that almost couldn't make it. So I was like, whew, things just aligned last minute for me to make it. So I was happy I was able to do it, because that was definitely something I would not have wanted to miss. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you made the show for me too. Just that your energy and your like commentary and stage presence is exactly what Amp needed. It was exactly what Amp needed. So
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I honestly did feel like it was like meant to be. Like, what I mean? Yeah. That's the kind of event. And for those that didn't make it, I'm just that is really the words. It felt like it was all meant to be. Everything came together, and yes, Seth worked his ass off, and he put so much work to make it happen. But in the end, it all came together, and it was like this was just meant to be, and it was great. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy. Oh, Sammy's in here. Sammy Pacheco from AI Rides.
I just gave you a little shout out there, Sam.
Yeah, I'm sure people were telling him that's probably why he jumped on. Like, they talk about you.
Make sure they don't say anything bad.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So it is. I mean, who else? I know Tarzan brought a few things that he was selling as well. A lot of the people from our side that were able to drive there were able to bring a lot of things. And I guess if I had to do it again, I probably would try to organize another like big vehicle and drive there, because I would have wanted to have more things there. But it is what it is. It was a great experience even still. So I'm very happy. Oh, Sam said someone shared the link, and they probably like, yo, they talk about you now. Jump in.
He's like, what was said? What was said? We were talking about Amped, just giving you a shout out for bringing all the support as well, and the huge crew from New York City.
Yeah, man. I also talked about you going down and shredding your clothes, but I was and how you got right up and came over and talked to us. And we were talking about, what a great job you did, man, bringing all those parts and helping out all those people. Because Nathan, and Rev Rides, they really did a lot of work for a lot of people, but so did you. So a lot of people were shouting you out, Sammy, as well. So we just wanted to give you a shout out as well, say thank you, man. What you did was great. Yo, EUC Vibes said, rewind 3 minutes. I'm sure you'll go back and watch it when it's all over, Sammy. Yeah, man. He said he's glad he could bring the team out there. Yeah, we're glad you did too, brother. It was definitely a win-win. Say again.
Looks like Amped Electric Games in the house. Is probably
Seth. What's up, Seth? What's going on, man? Yeah, man. We were just giving you a shout out. Big shouts out to Seth. Yeah, man. We were talking about all the work that you did, buddy. All that you did to get this in effect and to make it happen. Legitimately, hats off to you, brother. But we were talking about how it just seems like it was meant to be. Like, everything came together in the end. Like wow, this was meant to happen. So we really appreciate it. And we were just talking about all the great things that happened and all the great people that we met out there. Oh, we got Zen Lee. Zen Lee's in the house. Zen said, he said, nobody has sponsored more events or riders than Nathan from Rev Rides. Much love. Hope he has some peaceful, fun holidays. That's from Zen Lee.
Thanks, Zen. Appreciate it, man.
And Wheelie Brady. Yeah, again. That's right. Shouts out to Seth. Sammy said Amped was absolutely amazing. No doubt. No doubt. So let me, when I was trying to fix the echo when you were introducing and stuff, and you were telling me, Nathan, that you are a family run business. Your wife runs it with you, and as someone who has this much family support when it comes to electric vehicles and EUCs and stuff, I know that that's amazing. But how does it feel to you to be running it with your wife?
It's a challenge, but it's a dream come true. So, no relationship is easy. Mm-hmm. And, the strain of having not only my life partner here at work as well all day, every day, grinding away. This is not an easy business.
No.
It's, not for the faint of heart. And to have her support on both the home front and at work is amazing, that I can do this with her. Her name's Emily. We've been married 16 years now. We've got 4 kids together. So,
okay.
We have a full plate for sure.
Okay.
And honestly, she's the one that holds it all together.
Yes. I was waiting for you to say that. Shouts out to Emily. Emily, I don't know, is she there with you? I don't know if you're at the office or she's in the back there.
I think she is here. She's getting ready to go home.
Emily, I just want to say shouts out to Emily. Emily from Rev Rides, doing it, making it happen. Because listen, even though I tell you I don't get any support here at home for my electric vehicles, I still couldn't do it without my wife. So she supports me. And she's not even on board with this stuff, and she supports me. So I know your wife is got to be supporting you. We have 3 children over this way, so full house as well. And so I know it's a lot going on, and I'm sure she is like this way, that way, this way, that way. And, but behind every great man is a great woman, and knowing that she's there with you, hats off to you guys being able to do it together. It really means a lot. So the community appreciates
you. Yeah. So she rides a one wheel, and then she's learning how to ride unicycles, so she can ride with us all. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, Tarzan's in the house. Sam hooked me up with the bearings. Yeah, that's Tarzan, the man. He was everywhere. Everyone asked me, who was that standing up on top of the bus for the high five? I'm like, Tarzan. And then he comes over here to the Wheel Life Rally and takes first place, riding backwards through the finish line. I'm like, come on, man. The grand champion, he was doing the damn thing. So shouts out to you, Tarzan. You did a great job, man. You represented at both locations, both events, and you're always everywhere. So appreciate you, Tarzan. Great job, man. Keep doing what you do. Yo, Tech Man. Yeah, what's up, man? Yo, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Yeah. Tarzan. He said it was a total roast. I think it was about the bearings or something. I don't know. Oh, Roger. I passed right over Roger. What's going on? Nathan hooked me up with a screw that I badly needed. Thanks, Rev Rides. Is that what that was from?
Right on.
Is that what and then he said Sam hooked me up with the bear. Okay. I don't know what y'all got going on, but shouts out to all of y'all because all of y'all were there. And Roger, my man, thank you, Roger. Roger has a plethora of knowledge.
Yes, he does.
And a crazy sense of humor.
When I first met Roger, we did a road trip with our S22s down to Amped Electric or to Apple Valley Raceway, and we did a stop in LA to do a demo for the S22s. I'm gonna have my wife come over and say hi.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So we did that, and Roger totally hooked me up and helped me out. So hi. This is Emily.
Hey, Emily. Oh, come on. We got a little bit closer. A little bit closer. You got to get right. There you go. There you go. Hey. Hey. So Emily, I heard you're the glue that holds it all together.
Apparently, according to me, I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we just wanted to give you a shout out. I know this was last minute, but I just wanted to give you guys at Rev Rides a spotlight because you guys are, you're doing, helping a lot of people in the community. Your name keeps coming up. So I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. And I know you weren't here when we did it earlier, so to you I say, great job. Keep doing what you're doing, you guys. And I don't know if you heard it, but I was telling him that here at my house I don't got that kind of support. She doesn't ride. She's not on board. She doesn't want me doing it, and so to know that you guys not only ride together, but you're working together in a PEV company is like huge to me. It's like it seems like a dream to me, and I know it may not always seem that way because I'm married with the kids, and I know, but I want to tell you guys I salute you, and I appreciate what you guys are doing. And I hope that you guys are, continue to do what you're doing and able to be prosperous in what you're doing. And because the community.
And stay married.
Yeah. Yeah, let's put that. We'll put that on top of the list, and then yeah, and then company can be down here, like marriage, kids, company down here, but but it's great to see you guys doing this together. So I salute you and I thank you, and I'm sure that we're gonna be able to do some things together. So we'll talk more another time. So keep supporting him and helping him out, because I know we're guys, we're a mess, and if without you women, we'd fall apart. It's true. So
it's teamwork. It goes both ways.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you for the shout out.
Thank you. So that's great, dude. That really is. So there was something I was just about to say right before that happened. Oh, here it is. So Holy Troller says, I checked Rev Ride's website, didn't see any of the new EUCs available. Do you plan on getting any soon?
Great question. Being a early adopter has its pros and cons, but it's really risky as a business to invest heavily in new wheels. And so we have decided to slow down a little bit on the pre-production first batches of wheels. We do have, now it's not first batch of Master. Right. It's not first batch of T4s. So we do have Masters coming and T4s coming and M10-4s coming. They have shipped. We will launch them on our website probably later this week, early next week.
Gotcha.
For pre-order. So they have shipped. We just didn't want to buy first batch of those. And we're, glad we didn't, because there have been a number of issues with the early batch of each of those wheels. Maybe not I don't know if I've heard of issues with the M10-4, but
not T4, yet. But that was the newest one. So
it was the newest. So that was a business decision. It's cool to get into the newest, latest hype game. It's super fun. We love to see the new stuff as well. But for a business, we have to make wise decisions to make sure we can still, operate and pay our employees, and we have to be able to support the customers. And so if you have a whole batch of first wheels like S22s, it's a really, really great wheel. And Kingsong did extra work, more than, Begode. Begode has launched like 9 different models this year, I think. Kingsong did all the engineering and the thoroughness, and yet still had
problems,
major mainboard issues, and now have had the motor issues. And that's not a Kingsong issue, that was their supplier issue, but still our company as a retailer, the stuff is all the way here from China. We can't just send it back, for a warranty. We have to
Right.
fix it. So we're tearing down every single S22, pulling the motors out and rebuilding them with new stator assemblies that are drilled and pinned. And that's an expense that we don't get reimbursed for.
Yeah, and
So
I know that's a big part of being a distributor of these wheels, and that's the part that most people don't really pay attention to, because all we care, most people care about is the end product. What am I getting? And they don't see that. And I'm gonna be honest. To me, that makes a huge deal, because I went through the group buy, and that's when I got hurt, broke my shoulder, and then it I didn't have a company or a distributor to fall back on. Although, I bought the group buy, and, Panda set it up, and he helped to talk to Begode on my behalf while I was hurt and stuff, but it wasn't quite the same as having a company that, because E-Wheels has done a whole lot, and they were one of the first company I even heard of, and Jason still does a whole lot to try and deal with that. But I see what he goes through, and I know for you doing it, and you and your wife running it, and coming up, being a smaller company is not as easy, like you said, to take on that type of situation when it's got to be you that fix it if people buy through you, and that chips out at the bottom line, and it makes it difficult to deal with. So
there's actually not great margin in EUCs compared to a lot of industries, and also compared to the scooter industry. So being a thin margin industry that has a lot of upfront cost, like imagine what it costs to buy one. What does it cost to buy 500 of them and put them on a container and ship them over here?
Right.
That's cost for your business. It's no small feat, and for you to have a batch of bad wheels, like it's really fortunate that Jason from E-Wheels has been able to build this industry up from nothing. He was the first one that I know of that got into this in the United States. We all owe him a huge respect for what he did to get us from nothing to where we are now. But you talk to the guy, and that him and I converse periodically, and it is taking a toll on him. It's stressful. It is not an easy business. So I'm fortunate. I have a really good team. They help me balance that work life a little bit, and if it wasn't for my team and the community's great. It's nice to have help and knowledgeable people. Like I was going to give Roger a shout out earlier. We've got so many knowledgeable people in the community that I took these S22s down to California, but one of them had a battery problem. It wouldn't boot up. It had an error. So we pulled the battery out, and Roger saw that it was the BMS cable had been pinched off and broken during a crash, and he right there soldered it back together with his kit that he brought in the back of his car. And I couldn't have fixed it myself, and then we had a working S22 for the demo because Roger was able to whip out his black magic and fix this stuff.
Nice.
So lots of stuff about the community and just the retailers for building this up and making sure that we can have a sustainable market here.
Yeah. And it's I honestly believe that it's the community that really, the wheels we're in love with. Riding the wheel is like, it's like when someone says, "Oh, I just learned to ride," I tell them, "Welcome to the addiction." Because it is really addicting. You just want to keep riding, and you want to ride all the new wheels, and it's just so much fun. But the community is what makes it possible, because so many different knowledgeable people, so many people dealing with different situations and helping each other out. And that's what I love, because I get messages all the time, and I respond to everybody, sometimes it may come in on a different platform and maybe I didn't get back to it in time, but I always get back to it. And if someone's asking for help, then I'm trying to help. You know, Roger did a tire change video, and I think it was French USA did it also. So I put out one too. I'm like, oh, so you got more of them to watch, because somebody said to me, oh, I barely see any. I said, you know what? I'll show you how I did it. So, and that's how we help each other, by going over what we did and trying to make sure that if somebody else wants help, somebody I was back and forth with somebody, walking them step by step how to do it. And I'm like, look, I ain't no professional. I just watched Roger in French, and I know I have a wheel and I have to fix it. So, and I'm like, I don't really have the money to ship it out to try and just get that fixed, to change the tire. And it's not even broke. I just wanted a different tire on it. I'm like, no, I got to do that. So the community, we help each other, and it's wonderful. So I'm happy with that. Hold on. Holy Troller said, I love that response. I bought a T4 and the motor blew immediately. Still haven't heard from the dealer yet about the fix. I might shop you next. There you go. See?
Also, appreciate you not calling out whoever that dealer is. That's the other thing that's been really tough in this industry is, I don't know a single dealer that is like a shyster or trying to take advantage of the community or anything.
Right.
This is a grind, you guys. The amount of emails we get, how demanding customers are, especially with internet businesses. They don't know you. They don't walk into your store.
Right.
We never have a bad experience somebody walking in our store, because they can see we're genuinely trying to help and genuinely trying to identify and troubleshoot and figure out this problem. Online, it's so hard to troubleshoot issues with people over email and phone calls.
Yeah.
Sometimes they think we're giving them the runaround, where we're like, hey, you need to take a picture or take a video showing us the problem. That's not because we don't believe you. It's because we need that hands-on and first-person view of what's going on, because a lot of times it's not what it seems. You think it's the charger, but it ends up being a controller or a battery, and we really need to see more than just the novice trying to explain to us the issue. So, all the dealers in this industry are working hard and trying hard. So thanks for not shouting them out. If you had a bad experience with a dealer, it's probably not because they intended to give you a bad experience.
And I have had that said to me by several people. They're like, I don't know why they, I got to send a video or whatever. And it's funny because, initially you're like, it's broke. Just, send me something, and it's not until you deal with it on a regular basis, or you deal with it a few more times, that you realize, what he just said was right. Everybody's trying to make this happen. And, if you need a video so that you can show the company what's going on, then, that's what you got to do. You got to try and help diagnose and figure it out. And forgive me, I'm adjusting all my windows over here. So I understand that 100%. And I know you were, business wise, it's hard to make a business profitable.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, you want to help all the customers, but at the same time, you're doing this because you want to do it, and you care about the community and what we're doing. But you also didn't get into this to just sink all your money and not make anything. That's not what you're doing this for. So it's, it's understandable. It's definitely understandable. So I appreciate you, not just being out for you, but trying to help other companies as well. Make sure that, we're not harming anybody. I say that we have to be good wheel ambassadors when we're out there. We always have to do our best to put our best foot forward and show that positive energy, because what we're doing is new. Now, a lot of people don't know what's going on, and they're looking to us as to, how they should treat it and how it should be, what this is going to be. And if we're, not positive, then that's what comes over. So that's why I'm like, stay positive, people. Stay positive.
Yeah, we're in this together. The liability, risk for a business is, through the roof. And so, we're putting a lot of skin in the game, and taken a lot of risks to make sure that this sport progresses. You can't get into this industry without not believing that this really is going to change people's lives and be better for the environment and be a more practical, affordable means of transportation. Because that's the stuff, the real purpose is what drives you, not the profitability, not the revenue. What drives you, keeps you after it is the purpose. You got to believe in the purpose.
Yeah, if you don't, you're not gonna do well. And I tell people that even doing things online, because I've had several people, oh well, you must be making a lot of money on. I'm like, I don't make anything. What are you talking about? I said I don't get millions of views on stuff. Like if I got millions of views and I was doing, sure I would. I said this is not profitable at all. I said I do this because I love doing it. And to me, it's an outlet because, my jobs are very stressful and this to me is my fun and enjoyment. Yeah. So this community gives me an outlet to enjoy myself and to release, that frustration that I feel from, work and all the things that I do. So, that's why this is. But if I did this, I started the YouTube channel just so I could share my experiences with others. Because every time I go somewhere and talk to people about things, oh, wow, I was going to do that. So how did you do, I'm like, you know what? I always want to share, so I'll make a video, and that sprouted into more and more and more. And I'm like, all right. My wife's like, you're doing a little too much. I'm like, I know, but I love it. So I don't know if you saw Grill Piece on here. He said, we need a Rev Rides / Wheel Life Rally collaboration event, late spring, 2-day event, 4 events a year, Cobra. Let's work.
Yeah, great idea.
And I'm like, guys, I would do 4 events a year easily, but yeah, about that. It's a lot of work. We're getting better. Like we were saying,
at least I can say this is my day job. This is not even your day job. So this is this is what you do in your free time.
I got 2 day jobs. But yeah, they were talking about doing a 2-day event next year, and I'm like, yeah, the event is getting bigger. The Wheel Life Rally is getting bigger every year. This year was definitely better than the previous 2 years. So I am definitely looking in to see if I can make that happen. There's a lot more things I want to do, with the track, working with Rick at the WIC. And those that went, it was crazy fun. You guys see the videos, somebody said it was a dust bowl because we hadn't had a lot of rain at the time. So it was a lot of dust, but it was so much fun. I literally leave there just smiling, thinking about all the fun. Just like the Amped Electric Games, it's like when we get together and have these events, it's nothing but fun on fun on fun. So I want to do more. There were so many events this year, though. I looked at somebody sent me a list of events that we have, and I was like going, from all different cities. I'm like, oh my God, I can't make all those events. I want to. I don't know about you.
We were going to make it to Amped because we'd already done, we did Apple Valley. Big shout out to Mo Biggs. He's been doing that for years, even before EUCs or scooters were part of it.
Okay.
He was doing it. Mo Stooge Boards. It's a electric skateboard racing company that he builds. He's been doing it for a long time and opened his arms to us when we reached out and said, hey, we want to come to Apple Valley and be part of your event. And he just, said, yeah, come on down. So we've done that for 2 years now. Then we did Northwest Electric Fest. Jesse Cargile, he's just a local rider that put together this huge festival event. And it was just an amazing, a camp out 2-day event. And then we did West Wheel, Jesse Garner. Everybody knows Jesse, Pevra. If you don't know Pevra, go check out their website. I think it's just pevra.org. We hosted West Wheel 5, the 5th year they've done that here in Portland now. This is the only year they've done it in Portland, but this is the 5th year he's done it. And so we sponsored that event. It was like Amped came along. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can afford to do one more event. Gosh, and then Apple Valley's coming up again in November. And so it's like, wow, I got to get down there again in November. And Broadway Bomb is next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
so,
15th. The 15th.
enough people twisted my arm to say, you got to come to Broadway Bomb. So I'm flying to New York next week. If you're there, come say hi. I'll be at the Broadway Bomb.
Yes, definitely. And I'm glad you mentioned that because we hadn't gotten to that yet. Saturday the 15th. I think it's Saturday, right? Yeah. The 15th is the Broadway Bomb, which is a great event. In case you guys haven't been there yet, taking over Broadway, riding down the hill. Oh, craziness, sheer craziness. A lot of fun though. A lot of fun. Willie Brady said, we just need to get more people on wheels. If each of us just got one person riding, we would double the industry. Yeah, easier said than done. Some people, say, "Hey, I would break my neck if I tried that," and other people are like, "Yeah, I ain't doing that." So it's hard to convince people that of the fun that we're having, other than to just keep showing them the videos that we're making of us having a good time. I had someone come to my house yesterday about solar panels, not realizing I already have 33 solar panels on the back of my house. But and he was asked, we were talking, I don't even know how we got into the conversation, and he's like, you mean the unicycle, like those like, what does it look like? And so I showed him one of the Instagram videos of me riding. He's like, what? Whoa. Like, I was like, that's all you need to do, just show somebody a video of you riding. They're like, man. That is definitely.
That looks like Francis is in the house.
Hold on.
Francis was instrumental on helping to track down the real root cause of the S22 issues and pushing, really advocating for the dealers and the community with King Song and with Begode as well on just supporting their quality. So shout out to Francis.
Hey, shouts out, man. Appreciate your help. That was definitely necessary. So thank you for your support and your help, man. So Tarzan said, let's do the rally twice a year. Yeah, man, we'll get there. We want what I was doing previously is I had the outdoor rally and then I had an indoor rally. And that was so much fun. We did it at a go-kart track. Wow. The indoor, the tight turns on that go-kart track, it was crazy. And I was killing them with the V11 because the V11 is so high and had good torque, so I was able to corner well and take out Jeremy on his Sherman with the elevated pedal hangers, and Ashley on her she had the MSX at the time. She was flying on that, and that was a hell of a race. But I was trying to do one outdoor, one indoor, but unfortunately insurance came into play and made it difficult. The go-kart guy couldn't do it. He said, I can't do it again. He had somebody crashed in one of his go-karts and was suing him, and business. He's like, I'm sorry, man. It's just business. It's just too much. I said, no, hey, I get it. I understand, but I was trying to do something twice a year. And we may get back to that, but those of you in the chat right now, let me ask you a question. Would you rather do 2 rallies a year, or would you rather a 2-day event? If you had a choice between the two, tell me what you would do. Because I know some people said if it was 2 days, they would have came from a further distance. Although we did have Law come from Vegas up here. Shouts out to Law. We need a Shred Fest East Coast. Yeah, we probably could make something like that happen. But I would like to open this up. Seth and I were talking about trying to merge the Anth Electric Games and Wheel Life Rally and trying to have a big event over this way. And for those of you that live in this area, about the Eastern States Exposition, the Big E. I was thinking about it's the Big E Fairgrounds. And I was like, I wonder.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It looks like there's votes coming in. Mostly seems like 2-day
Yeah,
2 day event.
2 day. Yeah,
I kind of agree. It's even Amped was a long ways to go, so
Yeah.
it was nice that was a multi-day event.
Yeah.
Um, so if you're traveling more than like half day drive, 5 to 8 hours drive, it's nice to have a 2 day event.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree, and I think that's what I'm gonna try and focus on. I've been talking to people, and I definitely want it. But like I was saying, it's the venue that we're doing it at right now. Is the dirt bike track is amazing, and working with um, Rick is amazing there because he does. He tries to give us as much as he can, do as much as he can. He enjoys us being there so much. It's a lot of fun, but I don't know because he has so many events, national dirt bike championships. ESPN is there. He's like I hit him up. I'm like, hey, I was gonna come up this weekend and talk to you. He said, oh, but we gotta race this weekend, and I'm like, oh boy. So trying to squeeze it in somewhere would be good. Um, I know that's always the issue, trying to fit it in somewhere where there's not another big event somewhere else, where there's nothing else going on. I know that we had the Boston Invasion like the day before and the day of, and so a lot of people went there and weren't able to make both events, so they missed out. And so it's something, but just keep in mind, people. I'm gonna keep pushing forward. We're gonna keep trying to do bigger things. That's why I like meeting people like Nathan who are thinking along those lines of trying to help progress what we're doing. And I like making those kinds of connections and relationships. So going forward, we can do things together, and together as a community, we can make things amazing because they usually are. Um, now, like I said, I was trying to fix my thing, my echo in the beginning. What did you say you started? You said you started on a pedal unicycle, right?
Okay, yeah. I learned how to ride it. I visited a friend, and he knew how to ride a unicycle. And as soon as I saw it, I just had to learn. And so I bought a unicycle in middle school and practice and practice and practice. And my brother and I both learned how to ride it. So I can ride a pedal unicycle, not very well, but I can ride one. And I started, that was, in middle school, a long time ago. I had started Rev Rides, and we were selling electric scooters. And then I visited, the first I saw of the unicycle, I actually visited King Song in
Oh wow.
China. I had a big business trip. I was visiting a whole bunch of suppliers for scooters, and somebody said, "Hey, we should go check out this company because it's something similar." So we went and saw King Song's factory, and immediately I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer. I have to sell these because I ride a unicycle and I know I could ride one." So um, it didn't take me any time to learn because I already know how to ride a unicycle. So I just got on it and rode. Um, you know, Watching these people that ride all the time. I'm too busy to ride all the time, running this business.
Yeah.
But it's incredible. I can't ride backwards hardly at all. And I'm seeing Tarzan's like riding backwards around the track, racing people, and the
Yep.
competition through the cones backwards. Like,
Yep.
man, you guys are far surpassed my skill.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. So
Um,
that's kind of how I got started into unicycles. Um, and it's been a wild ride since then. The How fast this technology has advanced is just mind blowing. Um,
it
I don't
is.
know if you guys know, but um, in the United States, the first unicycle that I'm aware of was the SBU, the self balancing unicycle. Two kids from Camas, Washington, which is 20 miles from here, just the neighboring town, invented this SBU, and they were on Shark Tank trying to get investment for this SBU, and it was a self-balancing unicycle. And they actually got hired by a company called Inventist, who is a company in Camas, just next door.
Gee.
And Shane Chen, the owner of Inventist, is the person who launched the Solo Wheel. It was
Ah.
the first actual non-seated,
Yep.
self-balancing unicycle. But it's these two kids that had like really put it together.
Yeah.
Um, the one guy worked at US Digital at the time. It was another engineering company in town that
Digital.
I had actually, interviewed with before. And so it's a small world. One of those two guys, I mean, they're not kids, they're adults, but one of those two guys, he works at Future Motion as one of their lead R&D guys. So, this industry is closely knit to Vancouver, Washington, where I am at. I don't have a connection personally with those guys, but I've taken them out for a beer before. But they're right here. The roots of EUCs kind of started from Camas, Washington, just down the street. So it's kind of cool to be Rev Rides here, pushing sales and the marketing for these unicycles when it really all started here as well.
And that's pretty good. I didn't know that at all. Solo Wheels, the first one I knew about, and I really didn't know that the other two guys went and worked for with the guy who came out with Solo Wheel. That's more information, yeah. But it's crazy how that technology has leaped forward. And I mean, it stagnated for a little period because Bigot, was putting out all the wheels the same basic thing and just changing one thing and then okay, it's a whole new wheel, and that I think that kind of stuff and that kind of stagnated us a little bit, because I think had it not been for that, we would have been jumping forward even further. So I think that it's great that their iterations of wheels, they're able to put those iterations out quickly, but at the same time, I think we would all agree, and I'm sure you probably will too, Nathan, that I think they should slow down and perfect certain things rather than pushing out all these, variations on the same, prototypes. And I'm like, okay, slow down a little bit, get everything right. And I don't think we need a million choices. We need a couple of choices. We don't need a million.
Yeah.
Because I think that hurts the industry when there's so many choices you can't decide what to get. And
reliability, if they're not reliable, it's going to be hard to really grow this industry to beyond the early adopters. The early adopter people, which are all the people in this chat, we're we're kind of self-starter people. We're the ones that are okay with lack of quality, lack of reliability. We kind of DIY a lot of our stuff anyway. We fix it. There's people that, CAD design up solutions and, this new bearing assembly that people are coming up with for the S22, an aftermarket upgrade that's going to make the suspension better. That's an early adopter person.
Right.
They're willing to put up with this kind of lack of quality and, more or less crap from these suppliers. If we ever want to have this be the masses and this be like something that can really change the way we commute around a city, urban mobility, the quality and reliability has got to get far superior. And the repairability. They're not really designed for serviceability, and they need to be.
And I was talking about that with quite a few people. Like we were like, why aren't these available in the US? Why don't we make them here? And I'm like, a lot of reasons. We can't get away with manufacturing what they get away with manufacturing over there. There are more regulations and restrictions. These wheels would have to get 100 times better, more reliable, and like you said, serviceable, and they'd have to stand behind the product. That's the other thing here is we hold our companies accountable for what they put out and what they do. Getting these wheels from China, we don't have that same effect. I had people, when my wheel just gave out on me, I had no recourse. There was nothing I could do about it. I can't, they're not going to pay me for it. They're not going to, they gave me a new wheel. That was it. And I'm like, but your wheel quit unexpectedly for no reason. And you can't even tell me why it quit, and I'm like, that's the kind of stuff we don't, you can't do that in the US. Yeah. You can't, we would absolutely be litigation in regards to that if you didn't take care of it, which is good and bad. It's good because we hold ourselves to a higher standard, but bad because it's hard for businesses to thrive if that's the kind of thing that happens, you get 2 or 3 of those cases where you lose a bunch, then you're out of business. So
yeah. And as a retailer, we're not really protected from that liability risk, especially when our supplier is from China. That liability risk is on us, even though we're just a retailer. We didn't design it.
mm-hmm.
So it's a risky business to be in. It's you see there's no big investors swarming into this industry.
No.
It's just liability is way too risky. So e-bikes, there's lots and lots of investors in e-bikes, lots and lots of big money in e-bikes because it doesn't have the liability risk that we do.
Yeah, yeah, and it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a bicycle with a motor. Let's go. and it's a motor, so it's like, and it's electric, so no emissions. Oh, okay, we're on board. We're like, hey, it's one wheel, no emissions, and they're like, ooh, I don't know.
Yep. Correct.
So I get it. Um, but I guess I feel both ways about it. I really want the U.S. to adopt it so that we can push forward. But then again, I'm afraid of what's going to happen when we do.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to kill the industry then because of all the restrictions and stuff? I don't know.
Or drive costs up too high.
Yep. Yeah. Well, costs are already ridiculous, and you're like, come on, guys. Now it didn't cost you that much to make that. But there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, you guys have to pay what they tell you to pay, and you guys have to charge us, so that you make some money. So I understand that, but like one of the things that I look at is what was the wheel, oh my God, I can't think of the name of it. After the Sherman, that kept Abrams. Oh my God. All the people with Abrams are slashing prices trying to sell those at any means necessary because no one wants one because they were cutting out so bad, and there was it's one of those wheels that just kind of faded, and but if you bought 100 of them, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? You got to sell it. So you're like, I'll sell it to you for what I paid for it. Okay, then it breaks, and now you got to fix it. So so
yeah, and in North America at least, a retailer selling something that they know is defective is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only an ethical problem, it's a legal problem. So
yep.
It's a rough industry, and that's why we've slowed down on buying first batch wheels. It's just these suppliers. We want to put more pressure on these suppliers to finish the design fully and test it. There are specs, for testing batteries now, and there's UL 2272 is just one of the options for industry standard that they could be testing stuff to. None of these wheels pass that test that I'm aware of. The Consumer Product Safety Commission, the CPSC, has emailed us multiple times. I know they've emailed the other distributors in the United States asking, how many of this wheel have you sold? And then they recalled one of the wheels. And so they kind of required, more or less, asked us to contact all of those customers and notify them of this recall. And it's not really a recall because it's not an official recall. It's just, but the Consumer Product Safety Commission, you can't mess around with these people. They've got power to shut this industry down. And if our suppliers from China don't wake up and take this safety stuff and reliability serious, we're not going to be able to import them to the United States. So it'll all be black market stuff that happens then.
And that's not what we want. That's not what we want.
Yep.
That's a lose. So Francis is saying, he said, Erwin, I think you'll like what we're preparing, an EUC industry association which Purpose will be to push the quality and safety forward, making sure wheels are ready before they're sold. Okay, I'm all on board. All on board. You know, I do realize I, I just wish we could cap it. You know, when we start talking about that, all I see is dollar signs. Because as it is with no safety and all the stuff that's going on, the prices have risen so high that I'm like, damn, I have to sell 2 wheels to get one. I'm like, I'm like, it's really tough, but it is what it is. But before I go any further, because I did it last week, and I apologize to those who tuned in last week, I was planning to give some things away, and I didn't. So Nathan, we have come to our part in the show where we are going to give some goodies away. So there's 34 people in here right now, and guys, we're about to give some goodies away. So Nathan, I'm going to let you decide what you want to give away. But the first question, guys, so the first one in the chat. Now, mind you guys, if you are somewhere else, maybe the chat may show up reverse comments as far as who came first or whatever. Plus, we're on 2 different platforms, so sometimes it comes in. But we're going from my chat that I have on my screen right here. So the first one to get this answer correct is going to win something from Rev Rides. We'll get you, we'll get your information and ship it out. We're also, behind me, I got the red version to this shirt. And also, you can see the other rally shirt there. But I think all I have left right now, until some others come in, is I have 2 red shirts of this that I'm going to add in too. But I really want Rev Rides to be represented today. So we're going to go with Rev Rides. And the first question is, how many wheels does Nathan personally own? I say again, how many wheels does Nathan personally own? Not his company wheels, his personal wheels. First one to get the answer gets the first prize from Rev Rides. Dun 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 dun. Winner! Ding 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 ding. And the winner is Jules Ride. Jules, you are the first one to win. Nathan has 2 wheels. He has 2 wheels. So Jules, I'm gonna write you down here. We'll get your information and stuff so that he can ship you out. What does he win?
A hat and a shirt.
All right, Rev Rides hat and shirt. Whoop 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 whoop.
We need to get your size, Jules, too. Yep. What size and what hat? We have a couple different hats.
Yep. We will definitely. So you said hat and shirt. So I like that. So one more question for you guys. And I see a bunch of people. So I said 6. The answer was 2 people. The answer was 2. Grill P said 6. Holy Chola said 4. Dennis, yeah. Listen, when I talked to him earlier, I said the same thing. Oh, he must have a bunch. Oh, Sensei Vegan in the house. What's up, Vegan? What's going on, man? Let's see. Too late, Zen. Too late, Zen. So Roger said 10. Sam said 40. I said, not the business wheels.
We've got a lot to sell you if you want to buy one. But
oh my goodness.
I have my trail wheel and my cruising.
Okay, hold on now. Hold on. You giving up too much. You giving up too much. So the next question, guys. The next question is, which wheels does Nathan have? We talked about how many. Which wheels does Nathan own? These are his personal wheels. Which wheels does Nathan own? Nope. Look when you see. Oh shoot! You know what? Look, because I forgot what your answer was, Nathan. I know that's wrong. I know that's wrong. I know that's wrong.
All right, we have a winner.
Who'd you see?
Dennis
Dennis
Morales.
Morales, the RS19 in the Monster Pro. The RS19 in the Monster Pro. Yeah, and I'm
That is,
looking back. Looking back to
he,
make
he's
sure.
the first one.
Yeah, he was. He was the first one. That's right. So let's see. Yeah, because I'm looking at everybody else's answers to make sure. But yeah, um, where'd it go now? Now I missed it.
Yeah, nice guess, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis. Oh, hold on. Where did I keep scrolling too fast and pass it? It was you, Dennis. You won. But well, I'm just gonna put up that one because I can't seem to find when he said it the first time. Oh, there it is. Okay. So RS19 in the Monster Pro. The winner is Dennis Morales. All right.
So I have a RS19 for my trail wheel, but I am going to get in a S22. We just sold out the first batch, so I couldn't grab one from that batch. And then the second batch, we're working through the change to the stator, and so there's just not available right now. We're doing customers first, but I will be getting an S22. They are amazing. I love the S22. I was
Yeah.
riding Kelly's S22 at Amped.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. See, that's why everybody thought you had one.
Yeah. She's, you know,
She
I don't
was
know if you
down
guys
and
know,
out.
but she was hurt pretty bad in a Suron accident. My Suron,
Oh,
actually,
it
my
was
wife's
yours?
Suron.
Oh
My
my
wife's
God.
Suron.
Oh wow.
But yeah, she's recovering well. She's up and walking and on a good recovery path. But yeah, she
Okay.
wasn't able to ride, so I rode her S22.
We can't see you, Nathan. You're half
Oh,
out. There we go. So yeah, everybody assumed S22 because you were riding an S22 at the Amped Electric Games, and we know you selling the S22, so everybody just assumed that that's what he had. But no, it's the RS19 and the Monster Pro. Those are the wheels that he has. So the winner was already decided. I see everybody still good guess. Um, does E-Wheels still have the exclusive with Sherman? I don't know if that ran out yet. I'm not sure. But E-Wheels has a lot of battery exclusives. They're doing a lot of different things because, like we were saying earlier, E-Wheels was in this, they've been in this a while. So with the amount that he buys, he's able to do some really good things, and he's able to be on the front edge of buying all the wheels. But it is stressful on him. Anybody who's spoken to him, like Nathan was talking about how he's spoken to him, and my messages back and forth with him, you can feel the stress. You can, you can just feel the stress, and then the fire that happened. So, yeah, he's another good dude. Definitely, Jason, another good dude. So, Splice is in here. What's up, Splice, my man? Splice guard there. Turbo's in the house. He says sorry for being late. Hey, Turbo, that means you fast, not slow and late. I don't know what's going on. That's all right. Next time.
yeah, what did Dennis win?
Yeah.
Dennis, you win a hat and a shirt combo.
Yes. Okay, so both of you guys, so Nathan, do you want them to send the information to Instagram or direct to the website? How do you want to do it?
It'd be best to email service@revrides.com.
Okay. So
service@revrides.com.
You guys got that? So Jules and Dennis, you get a hat and a shirt. So if you are all your hats on your site?
Yeah, yep.
So go on. Yeah, go and check the site, see what you want, and then email at service at revrides.com and let him hook you up. And that's definitely something that I'm happy with, that you guys jumped in and that was funny. So okay, so yeah, and I'm hoping, I can't wait for mine. I designed a hat with that all black letters. I'm hoping that gets to me soon. Oh, but that being said, oh, that's too easy. I was just about to come up with something. Oh, tell us about your bear behind you there, Nathan. We didn't get to that. Tell us about your bear.
Yeah. Okay. This is the prize I got as a thank you for sponsoring Northwest Electric Fest.
Here, I'm gonna back out so they can see it full screen. Hold on, let me back me out. There you go. Just you and the bear, man. You and the bear.
All right. The bear. Here, I'll grab the. If this gets too blurry, let me know, and I won't hold the camera.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at that. So, what's he riding?
An S22. He is on a unicycle. I don't know if you can see, but
Yeah.
he's riding a unicycle. It was carved by a good friend of Jesse Cargyle. Jesse is the one who organizes and hosted the Northwest Electric Fest. So yeah, I sponsored them, and so they carved this for me. It's carved in here. Thanks, Rev Rides, Northwest Electric Fest, 2022, and yeah, one of the community members actually carved it. So she did. I think it was a lady. She did an amazing job. It's a showcase piece in our showroom right now. So yeah, Northwest Electric Fest. Jesse Cargyle hooked me up with this as a thank you.
Yeah. So Mason Anders says last giveaway, the bear. He ain't giving that away, people.
Yep.
And then Dennis said Stokey the bear on an EUC.
Nice.
Turbo says he loves it.
Stokey the bear. I love it. That might be its name, Dennis. Great one.
That's good. Put it on a lanyard.
Name the bear.
Stokey the bear. Yeah.
Stokey the
bear. EUC Lucifer said, "Why are you giving it away? Will you bear to part with it?" He's not giving it away, people. Not at all. You're forever the EUC bear.
Yeah.
You know, nice vibes loves the bear. Yeah. Okay, so here. Oh, what did I do here? Then I took myself out. Let me put myself back in. Now we swap sides. Hang on 1 second. So, what I'm also gonna do here. Oh, I moved it over here. All right, so guys, I am going to also give away. And hold on a second. Let me go here. Put him here. I'm doing some movement, people. I moved the screens around, so I want to get Nathan back in, but get him on the other side. So I can switch you and put you back here. There he goes. It's Nathan and the bear, Stokey. I love that name. I absolutely love the name.
Yes.
I think a bear is born. Yeah. So I was trying to think of a question. I was trying to think of a question, and I've done this so much that all my answers are too easy because everybody knows. If I ask you how many wheels I got, you already know. Okay, which wheels do I own? Which wheels do I own? That's an easy one. So first one to tell me which wheels I own. I'm gonna incorporate it instead of saying how many. Which wheels do I own? I'm gonna do it's a 2-in-1 question. I did it before and it was easy to guess. So which wheels do I own? And so scooters, that's one thing I haven't gotten into. Okay, Jeremy, close, close. Uh-huh. That's not fair, Jeremy. Oh no, that's Vibes. I thought that was Jeremy. That's Vibes. Jeremy's not in here yet. So Vibes got it right. Yeah, he got it right. The Monster Pro, the Master, and the Sherman. Everybody said the V11 because that's what I did have. I just sold my V11 to get the Master. There's Jeremy. He said in the V12. Nope. The winner is EUC Vibes. Once again, Vibes paying attention. So Vibes, let me ask you a question, bro. Let me go over here and change. So Vibes, tell me which shirt you want. Like I said, I do have the black one I have here too. So the letters or the logo, and black or red. You can send me a message later. So Vibes won, and he's always in the mix, my man. All right, so that's it. That's all we're gonna M10. I wish I had the M10-4. I really want. Are you getting the M10-4, Nathan? Are you gonna be offering that soon?
It is on the boat.
All right, letters in black. We got you. I got you, Vibes. Yeah, so it's on the boat. So did you already do all your pre-orders, or you're gonna wait till you get them to put them in?
We haven't launched the pre-orders on the website, but we probably will do that this week.
Okay.
So check back on the website. Pre-orders for all the new Begode wheels that we are bringing in, which is the M10-4, the Master 50E, and the T4.
Okay. Now, you know what? Let me ask a question, and not just to you, but Roger, I think he's still in here, and there's other people that know way more about this than I do. The battery situation on the Master, and I'm asking because I have one. So I'm asking for me personally and for people who are asking me. The Series versus the Parallel. I know the Parallel is safer, and the Series is what people were worried about. My question is the Series to the Parallel, is that software on the main board, or is that in the BMS on the battery? Because I have the P42, the Molicel P42A batteries, and they're in parallel, and I know that that's a concern that Merlin Fish talked to me for a while and had me so worried I wasn't even going to ride my wheel at all. And I'm still very concerned that if there's a failure, then it's completely going to fail. But I guess my question is there a way to change it over to the other batteries? And if I change it over, does the BMS is that on the battery as well, or is that something separate that has to be done? Do you know, Nathan?
I don't know specifically, okay. But I would believe it's the BMS in the batteries themselves would need to be changed. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if the main board could just be programmed, but it probably wouldn't be a plug and play swap.
Yeah.
I would think main board and batteries would need to be swapped out.
Okay, that sucks. Because I was hoping that somebody would be able to tell me, you just
Roger
change the batteries.
Just said, yeah.
Oh,
and he's probably right. You know, Roger would know better than I would, but change batteries, distribution board, and the main board, yeah. So you get to keep a frame and a motor.
Damn it.
At least the voltage didn't, you can still use the same motor.
The issue is, like I just got the a new shock, and thank you, Roger, for helping me with that. He found it for a significantly cheaper price on Marketplace than buying it brand new on Amazon. I was like, I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. But he found it for me. So thanks, Roger. But that being said, I got the shock. I got the plates, but I got to put them on. And I'm like, but the only thing I want to change over, because I really want the parallel, because I want the safety. But it is what it is. I have what I have. And I know that I don't ride hard for long periods of time. I ride, in bursts. So I'm not as worried because I know that Merlin was riding his hard for a long period of time, sustained, because it was the performance batteries and the performance wheel, and he was doing, making it perform, and it did it until it didn't. And I was like, very concerned, very worried. I still am. I always am. I mean, my poor broken shoulder is just it forever hurts, so it's never going away.
Yeah.
So I'm always concerned, but it don't stop me from enjoying the ride.
That's a good chance for a plug for safety is,
yes.
Even Merlin, after that, he said, I will always wear a chest protector now. And he's a very avid rider and a very experienced rider. And, we are all susceptible to a bad crash, and gearing up, knee pads, elbow pads, helmet for sure, possibly chest protector with a back brace. If you slide and hit your back on something, spine, like we said at Amped, I think my UC journey, Yoro said it's like your spine and your brain injury do not heal. Bones and muscles, they heal.
So right.
Protect those two things.
Yeah, people don't realize how easily it can happen, because everybody that has had that issue, they all said the same thing. They got complacent. They didn't, they stopped thinking about what could happen because it hadn't happened in so long. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find a video to show. It hadn't happened in so long that people were like, oh, I'm not worried about it. I'm like, yeah, you got to be worried, because it can happen anytime. Non-suspension wheels, you guys know that any little bumps or whatever, you hit a good pothole and you're not paying attention, it takes you off guard. Your whole heart just stops. You're like, and we always say it, I almost just died, because it is very nerve-wracking and very scary. So gear up. We got to gear up. It's very important. And, I did this. And actually it's going to be small on this screen, but I did this video quite a long time ago. Right here, safety gear check, because that was at the time when, that was before my shoulder, but I had fallen a couple times, and I was like, you know what? Safety gear, people, safety gear. So I'm probably going to redo that video and include, the chest protectors, the back protectors, and all that, because even though I had the jacket, the motocross jacket on, and it had all that, I didn't really talk specifically about that and how important that is. You take a fall on your back, you take a fall on your front, it hurts, and those, possibly injuries that won't heal. So you got to be careful. Better safe than sorry, people. That is for sure. Splice said Jason sent me a video of one of the Master updates. They were riding Master with only 2 batteries. I'll send it to you later. Okay, send it to me. Yeah. And I'm sure they were riding it with only, because it was in series. I mean, in parallel, not series. So I can't do that. But Cybervolt, what's up, man? That's my buddy Cybervolt. Good to see you, man. He's saying, what's up, Nathan? So I really want to ride the M10-4. I really, really want to ride that one. And I kind of want one. I'm just like, the way my bank account is set up, right? Is there's a checking and a savings, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna go through. It's not.
I'm not big keen on the small wheels. I don't know, something. I tried the M10-3. We sold them. I've got an employee who just loves his. It's just not. I just never got into them. It's just kind of a weird gimmicky thing.
Well, I always thought that too, until Afiz from E-Rides. What's up? Shouts out to Afiz, my man. And Afiz sent me one to try out. And I was like, thanks, man. All the way from England, he sent it to me, which was crazy because it was hard for him to send it. and then it was impossible for me to send it back. It was going to cost me more to send it back than the wheel cost. I was like, what? So I just end up selling it to somebody here for him. But yeah, I was able to try that wheel. I didn't think my big ass would be able to ride that little wheel, but it was surprisingly peppy. I was like zipping around, but it is a niche kind of wheel. It's not something that everybody's going to love. But I was reintroduced to it at the Amped Electric Games.
Yes.
Yeah. Shouts out to Dawn Champion. What's up, Dawn? Dawn was able to. She was telling me about it because Marty was riding his. I was like, why is he riding that little tiny wheel? Go get a bigger wheel. And Marty loves his little wheel, and so does she. She bought one at the games, and she's like, trust me, riding backwards on this is easier. And like you, I don't ride backwards, so I was like, you know what? Let me try and do it a little bit more. I jumped on her little M10-3. I was like, oh, I was able to go backwards a little bit. I was like, okay, I could really learn on this. So after riding that, then the M10-4 dropped, and I was like, you know what? I think I want an M10-4. At the very least, I want to borrow one for a little while so I can mess around with it. I don't know that I'll actually buy one because I still need the Master Pro and possibly the V13. So
yes,
to replace my Monster Pro and my Sherman over there.
Don't get the Master Pro too soon because the EX30.
Yeah, sorry, that was the other one. Now the thing is, the EX30 is not as big. The tire's a little different. I don't know. But it seems, performance wise, it seems like it'll perform better. But I don't know. I like the look of the Master Pro also. So I don't know. But I could also swap out the Master for the EX30.
Correct.
So that would round out my 3 wheels right there.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be a good stable.
Yeah, Master Pro for the big boy wheel, to handle all this big frame, and then the EX30 for the sheer performance and power and speed, and the V13 also because I want to see what they can do when it comes to performance suspension, because it's a key, the performance suspension.
Suspension has changed the game. I mean, it's honestly my worst crash was just because I didn't see an obstacle in the road and hit 3 little bumps in a row, and it just launched me off my wheel. This was I was on a 16X back in the day, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to walk after hitting the ground. How hard I hit, and it rattled me for sure. And the suspension stuff would have just absorbed that.
It would have.
My feet on the pedals, and it's a major safety thing to. So I'm stoked on the suspension wheel advancements.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do a quick video like in the next couple days. I haven't put out a lot on the YouTube in a while, but I'm gonna put out one because suspension really has changed the game. And personally, like you just said, your experience accentuates how imperative suspension is because you went through the crash without suspension. I've had that several things like that happen where I almost lost it, and I'm like, holy shit, and I was like, wow. And then I was just riding the other day with Showtime, and it was crazy how I was riding over things, and she's like, and I was like, I don't understand. What's wrong? Why are you having issues? Because my suspension was just like gobble, gobble, gobble. Yep. I was like, that bothered you, that little area? I was like, it's a different ride. Yeah, it changes the game for real.
We've got Yoro in the chat now. My UC journey. What's up,
Yoro?
Yeah,
my heroes. Hey, what's up, man? Hold on. Cybervolt said that the M103 is a fun wheel to get from the bedroom to the kitchen and back during a winter storm.
Yeah, we don't walk anymore. EUC owners, we don't walk anymore.
So Lady Ryder said it was perfect for your rally. Yeah. Oh, that's you, Linda. That's gotta be Linda saying that. Yeah, she had her M103 out there. Shouts out to you, Linda. I appreciate all your help at the rally. It was amazing. I couldn't have done it without you. And my EUC journey, man. Thank you, man, for all of your words about our health and stuff at the rally, and your positivity also. He's another person who is very positive and very open and very helpful. If there's anything he can do, he's trying to help out. He was always right there, zooming around, taking pictures and video with everybody. It was great meeting you. And I can't remember your girl's name, but it was great meeting her too. She had a lot of great energy as well. I apologize for that, but it was great meeting both of you. So Sammy's saying the Master Pro's his next wheel. Wheelie Brady says the V13 looks good. My EC Journey says EX30 Master Pro. Yep. There's just so much. Sherman S. That one kind of disappointed me. What do you think, Nate?
Until they open up the market to allow other dealers to sell them, which I think, have an exclusivity, at least they're honoring their contract, but I think it's doing them a disservice. I don't really check up on veteran stuff. So.
Yeah. See, I'm just, the reason I'm saying it disappointed me is because the stats on it. We were talking about that, and I truly was surprised. And let me pull back up my sheet, because the veteran Sherman S is a 100-volt wheel. I was like, really, we pushed past that already. And it just feels like if you come out with something new, I could see 126.
Yeah.
Or 134, but not 100-volt. That feels like you got left behind. It feels like you didn't do the research to make sure you were on par with everybody else. Yeah, you got suspension, and the suspension on the Sherman S looks good, but the 100 volts doesn't look good. And with everything that we're doing with the wheels and putting into the wheels, I don't think it's good enough. 3,600 watt hours, a 3,000 watt motor, 20-inch tire, free spins at 64 miles an hour. I mean, the rest of it is good and doable. Sure. The casing looks good. The suspension looks decent. Not sure if I'm really sold because it's the V11 type suspension. I'm not sure if I'm 100% sold, because I feel like that's another thing that we progressed into shocks and the external backside suspension. We advanced to that, and now I feel like you didn't. And so I don't know. I guess it's a preference. I
agree. Those aftermarket or external shocks where you can relatively easily upgrade to different shocks for different rider weights or riding styles. Even just being able to change out the geometry of those arms that the shock was attached to, that can change the dynamics of the ride as well. If you see that on, automotive aftermarket or motorcycle aftermarket. So designing a wheel around that ability to swap out shocks and spring rates is really great.
Yeah. And what was the not what was, but the extended one, they were saying that it allowed you to use more of the shock, because the way that it's initially set up, you don't use the entire travel of the shock. It doesn't expand as much. But when you use that longer bracket that was created, you can use more of the shock, and it gives you a little bit more. I'm not 100% sold on whether that is the better move, because Jeremy Electrocycle has that, and he was saying that part of it is that is a hard suspension compared to the stock suspension. He said the stock suspension he likes better on the street because it's smoother and feels better. whereas he likes that extended shock better off-road because it's a harder, stiffer suspension. So, but what I like is that you have a choice. I just bought a different shock because I want to try something different, and I like the fact that with that bracket arm, you get that option, whereas, the V11, the Sherman S, those kind of suspensions, you don't get a choice. You get what you get. Even the even on the S22, you had the ability. They were doing the coil shocks and all that. So there's ability to do that, and I think we've come to that point. Certain junctures in the road, I think, are unavoidable, and giving us the ability to swap a shock, I think, is unavoidably the way to go. Like, it's you can't pigeonhole us, especially after paying as much money as you pay for the wheel. If I want it to be a little bit different, I should be able to make it a little bit different. And you should give me that ability,
Yeah, and I haven't looked at the Sherman S for serviceability, but that's one thing that was really concerning with the S22 when it first came out, with how hard it was going to be to do a tire change. Mm-hmm. But after doing all these motor swaps, it's really not that hard. If you don't have to. That first video that came out with S22 where they did like a complete teardown to get to the tire, now you don't need to do that. There's like 3 big assemblies and that come apart in big chunks, and you can just drop the motor out and replace the battery pretty quickly. I haven't personally done a Begode Master service, but these. So I'd be curious to see how hard the Sherman is to repair.
Yeah, I can tell you that the Begode Master, for a guy who don't really know what he's doing, for me to be able to pull the motor and the tire out easily and swap the tire and change it, I was like, damn, that was super easy. Like I even took extra steps I didn't have to take. I was like, oh, I didn't even have to do that. Like, I could have just easily. So I think that part of the Begode design is ingenious. I don't know if they did it thinking of that on purpose or it just worked out that way, but being able to take that tire and motor out super easy like that with only a few screws is like great. And it's not like, it's flimsy. It's sturdy, but when you start pulling the screws apart, you can see and you pull it out. I was like, oh man, that's really good. So I like that design. I haven't taken apart the S22, so you've spoken on that. So like we said, those 2 wheels are doable and easier. I don't know how the Sherman S is going to be. I did see that the shell, the way it comes apart, they were saying that because of how it's made, it's going to be more expensive to replace if it gets damaged. Sure. Excuse me. So, we'll see. We'll see. So Sam is saying, I don't even walk within my own shop, saying he rides his wheel everywhere.
Yep.
I feel you, and I know if I had the M10, I know I would be doing the same thing, zipping around the living room and the kitchen. Because I was doing it when I had that one here, and I was doing it on my 16X, zipping around my kitchen and dining room.
Yeah, my employees buzz around the shop all the time. It's just like, it's a liability nightmare if they crash into something and get hurt, but it's like, you can't fault them for it. It's like, why walk?
Right. It's just so much fun to ride. So, Easy Journey says the girl's right there. Tell her I said what's up, man. Give her a shout out and a wave from the Cobra. What's up? And he says, I hope Rev Rides will carry one, the EX30 or the Master Pro. I'll wait.
Yeah, we'll probably carry both of those wheels, just not first batch.
All right. Yeah, see, and that's the smart move. Sherman S looks great. This is from Francis. He says Sherman S looks great on paper, if as good as the Sherman Max, but the first units were shipped after only 1 month of testing. Not enough. No, I agree. But they expect us to do the testing. That's the whole point. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, that was the other thing. It's not a hollow motor. I think that was the other thing, the other issue we had with it. I didn't write that down, but I think that was the wheel we were saying we were surprised at that too. But it's all right. We'll see. That's how I look at it. We'll see. You don't got to rush. It's not a sprint. We'll get them. We'll ride them. We'll see how they are. The Apple approach isn't bad. Why not do really well on an older system instead of push a new one where others are failing? Well, I mean, I that's part of what I was saying. Perfecting, perfect it and then move on. And I don't think you need 15 iterations to do that. You can make those 15 iterations and test them in house instead of selling them to people and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
I think we are their test phase, and I know. And look, hey, I signed up for it. I was like, hey, I'll be a test guy. Send me the wheel and I'll test it out. And that worked out up until I got the Monster Pro and it failed. And I'm like, well, what do I do now? Shit. So that part sucks. You know, the faster you go, the more weight is an asset. Yes, bigger wheels are better at higher speeds.
Yeah, that stability you get from all that inertia.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of nice.
Yes, I'm referring to the alternative master linkage. Yes, that allows the more travel. I almost bought it. I was about to put it on. Jeremy has it, and I'm like, Instead, I went the other way, and went with the one with the cut. You need the cutout plates linkage to put on there, and I got those and the Merlin Fish plates there, and I'm gonna put those on. I was gonna do it today, but I was too busy, and it rained yesterday. I was so mad. My only 2 days off. I get 2 days, and they rotate, and I'm like, ooh, I got 2 days off. Yes. The first day was cold, 48 degrees. I'm like, come on. I still switched my helmet to the warmer helmet, put on the lazy rolling gear, and went out. I just posted that video of me squeezing by the bus on Instagram. That was 2 days ago. And I was like, I'm riding anyway. And then the next day, rain. I'm like, you couldn't rain when I was working. You got to wait until I'm not working. So.
Yeah, the cold and rain is starting to set in here too. It's that time of year.
Yeah, which is no bueno. No bueno. I don't.
Yep.
It's great for the grass, but.
That's the thing I'd like to see improved is dirt, the waterproofing on these wheels. We're in the Northwest, and a lot of people here, especially if you're into this is a way of life, like a way to commute and not just a recreational thing. You need this to get around. And so if it's raining outside and I have a bike, I'm just throwing on my rain gear and ride my bike. I don't worry about my bike malfunctioning while I'm riding it because it's wet out. But my wheel, I got to be careful. So, I think getting IP ratings better and better is going to be another thing that we look forward to this coming year.
But that's a thing that would come, another thing that would automatically come if we started producing them here. Again, that's a big step, and I know it'll give us everything we want, but you're going to have to pay a lot more, and that's not what we want. So Hate Mail is saying that the Sherman S suspension is like the forks of a mountain bike or motorcycle, quite different to the V11. The point we're saying, though, Hate Mail, is that is the same type of suspension that they're working off, the up and down suspension where that's all you get. Yes, it may be a different actual device in there, like the fork suspension, but it's the same straight up and down, whereas I can't change that. I can't swap out the suspension in a V11. I could swap out to the same thing, but I can't swap it out to something that I want to change the amount of suspension or the tension or the whatever. I can't make as many adjustments. That's what we're saying. We know it's not identical to the V11. It's actually better, but it's still. I noticed that there wasn't a lot of travel in the suspension on the videos that we saw. I don't know if that's because of how much air was pumped into the suspension. I don't know if that's the overall, but I know that the way it's designed, it's we're not going to be able to just go buy mountain bike shock and spring and put it in there. We just can't, and that's what I think we've evolved to already.
Agreed.
Yeah. So Pele is saying, is it true that emotions are a nightmare to service? If so, do you think the V13 fixes all of the rumors? think that's to you. Have you worked on a V11?
I have not worked on a V11. We
Okay.
did not bring in. We used to sell in motion stuff, and we're not opposed to getting in motion again. Um, we just don't currently carry in motion stuff, so we didn't carry the V11.
Well, I can tell you from working on mine, like I said, again, I'm not a technician. I'm
Sure.
just, but I can tell you that it wasn't that it was a nightmare to work on. It was that you could see that they put a lot into it. There was like a ton of screws, which I wasn't mad at because to me, I've always felt like the InMotion wheel was a quality wheel. Like I
Yeah.
always felt like I could see where they put all the effort into that wheel. So the
Yeah.
V11 for me was a great wheel. Like I loved my V11 and it was super hard for me to let it go. If it, like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that I couldn't afford to get the master and keep
Sure.
the V11, then I would have kept it. But I felt like I was trying to step forward and being
Yeah.
able to swap out the suspension seems, doable.
Correct. And that suspension on the V11 was a pogo stick with very little dampening,
Yep.
and it was too soft for most serious
Mm-hmm.
off-roading. But then you were stuck. There was nothing you could really do to advance it and make it better because of the design. So that made it a little rough for us. We've worked on them. The guys in the shop know how to take them apart and do repairs
Mm-hmm.
on them, but it is a tedious wheel to work on. A lot of screws,
Yeah,
very time consuming repair.
you gotta have time, tools, good spacing, a good area to work on. But if you have all that, it's doable. Like I didn't have a problem taking mine apart. My shock, I got damage to the bottom of one of my shocks. The cap came off and a rock hit it and damaged it. And Jason sent me out a new one, and I had to take it apart and pop it in, and I was able to do that no problem. I never really had an issue with, I love the construction. Yes, it was more time consuming, but I don't want it like flimsy. I still want it to be a solid wheel. Like I like the combination of the master, the ease of being able to take it apart and swap the tire, but it still feels sturdy when it's together. I don't feel like it's, like the cheap plastic that they used to have. I mean, they still cheap out on a lot of things on it, but it's not like the old Be Gold wheels, So I'm very happy with it. If I can get the suspension to work right, then I'll be good to go.
Yeah.
I think there was another question. Erwin, oh no, that was for me. Heaviest motor. What is the benefit, if any, of InMotion having the heaviest motor in the industry? I don't know. I don't know why they were putting that up as the heaviest motor we ever made. I was like, that ain't a benefit. Like, why they were listing that? I don't know. Do you have any information on that, or not an opinion on that, Nathan?
No, not really.
Okay, Keith asked, so what about the T4 with an actual torque motor, since everyone agrees it's better made for off-road? That would be good.
Yeah.
I just think the T4 is too small.
I haven't heard any complaints about the actual torque of the T4 with the current motor in it, but agreed. Like it's gonna be a wheel that shines for off-road, especially for smaller riders.
Yeah, and I think that's it. It's like if you're smaller, then yeah, it's really gonna shine because people like to pull their wheel up and get it off the ground, and it's light enough that you can do that, like the RS or whatever. So
yeah, I'm excited to get more kids into the sport.
Me too.
And wheels like the S18 and the T4, I think are going to be a great catalyst to get kids into the sport.
This is a good question. Francis asks, he said, Erwin, after your crash, do you have a stress test routine before riding a new wheel to make sure it doesn't have a bad board? I honestly don't. the only thing I've done since then is I've only ridden wheels that have already been ridden. So like my Master was not brand new; it was secondhand. It came through someone else who had already been riding it. I already swapped the tire out. First, it went to Law, and then Law sold it to the guy I bought it from. So um, I was like, well, if it didn't fail on them, I should be good. So I ultimately decided to go ahead and ride it. Hey, you Stride's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, hey, you Stride.
Yeah, Jediah. Um, let me see.
My UC Journey's asking me if there's a chance you would be able to build a wheel that wouldn't cut out at high speed.
Oh, that's where I was just at. Yeah.
It's a self-balancing device is tough. So obviously, I think what they're talking about is extra capacity, like stored energy in like a capacitor that could deliver that power instantaneously. If you were riding at high speed and hit a bump and you need that instant torque to recover, there's possibility that it can be done, and that might be what InMotion is trying to do with the V13, but we'll see. I haven't seen it. I think we need more overhead design into them, like safety factor.
Yeah, they're the only ones.
Riders, we want to go faster and faster and faster, and so the suppliers are delivering what we're asking for. Unfortunately,
specifically,
specifically, and actually, that's why we sell Begode. We were only selling King Song and InMotion, because I didn't like the risk of the Begode and the quality of the Begode. And this was when it was Gotway, but we had so much demand. Customers just saying, "Please, we really want Rev Ride support, but we want to ride the Begode." And so it's just kind of like you had to. If you want to be a dealer in EUCs, you kind of have to sell Begode because people love that power delivery so much.
Right, but I think what you said was perfect, because InMotion is doing just that, and we get mad at them for their desire to be safe, but we also are pushing EUC companies to be safe. So they built a wheel that has like super high speed, but at the same time they're going to limit that speed. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's messed up," and I'm like, "Yeah, but think about it. Like you said, as long as the power is still there, if you're traveling at 58 miles an hour and you hit a big bump that the suspension can't really totally absorb at that high speed, and you get a spark or a current through the motor, and it has a lot left, it can absorb that. So you can if it bounced you in the air and it free spun a little faster, it could take it and then come back down and still be rolling. And I think that's what the idea of the InMotion V13 is trying to encapsulate. I don't know 100% if it's going to work. I don't know 100% if that is going to be, if it's really viable. But that's what they're looking at. And I think as long as they're able to make the adjustments to give you enough speed to give you that woohoo, but reserve enough to keep you safe, I think they're on the right track, So,
and then, for the racing guys, allow us to, with the right permissions or the right people, like maybe dealers can only do it, or maybe, you have to be authorized to do it, but be able to hack into the wheels to unlock that speed for a racing scenario. But don't allow it for the general public, because like, it's just too dang dangerous. And 50 miles an hour is already insanely fast on a single ride.
It's fast. Pele said, and I didn't realize this, he said the V13's removable. Yes sir, the removable suspension. Yeah, because you can make the V13 non-suspension. But honestly, I don't know why you would. I know that some people said, because if you're racing, you don't want any delay and give. And I'm like, yeah, but honestly, if you're racing at those super high speeds and you hit something, and I know on a racetrack you're probably not going to hit anything, because I don't know.
Yeah, think about other racing sports, right? If no suspension would actually be better, then you would have motorcycle MotoGP racing with no suspension, or you would have Formula racing with no suspension. That suspension at those high speeds, even just a little chatter on the roads, or a little dirt, and it's gonna be what helps keep the tire in contact with the ground.
Yes, which is huge.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize it, and I look, I'll keep it real, because I think Pele was just saying, was it him that said he's not quite on the move yet for the suspension. Not everybody is. He said was it him? Oh, he said, I know I'm in the minority, but that's why I am not running to suspension at Pepper. Okay, I think he means not yet, running to it so fast. But I can tell you this. I'm not saying that the suspension wheels we have right now are perfected, because that's what we're going through still. We're going through the perfection phase. But I honestly tell you, it becomes more and more apparent the more times you ride in a group with some suspension and some not.
Sure.
It is so, it calls out to you so easily when things happen that you're not even trying to make happen, but it's just like we're going through different. We're gonna cut through here. You cut through a trail that has just some minor bumpy, uneven stuff. No big deal. But on a Sherman or on any other non-suspension wheels, you're like, oh shit, because you go through on a Master or a T4. You're like, even a V11. I mean, even though it's more bouncy, but you're like, doom, 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 doom. You're like, what? What's up?
Like, when I go to New York, I'm shipping one of my wheels to New York for the Broadway Bomb on the 15th, and I'm trying to decide, should I send the S22? Maybe we should get a vote in the group on, should I bring the S22 to New York so I can handle the rough roads there, the potholes with suspension, or should I ship my Monster Pro? Because the Monster Pro is what people in New York ride. It's the fast wheel for street ripping around. But I'm a little nervous about bringing the Monster Pro just for potholes and all that. I feel like I should bring the S22. What does the group think?
Yeah, I'm gonna say S22. I've ridden in New York several times now, and I can tell you that I don't think you're gonna. Huh?
I don't know the roads, right? So people that,
they're bad. They're bad. They have some bad roads. So Adventures in Gold says Monster for sure, but I'm gonna say S22. I honestly am gonna say. Now, I rode the Monster Pro when I was there last time, and actually no, I think the last. Did I bring it? Yeah. I did have
the S22.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Look, I'm New York peeps. So Turbo, Sammy, you guys speak up. He's saying S22 or Monster Pro should he bring to New York. I'm thinking he should bring the S22. What do you guys think? Oh, I was thinking about you, Seth. I wasn't going to say it. Seth said last time he was in New York with the S22, it was bad luck.
Maybe bad mojo. No S22s in New York. Yeah, that's pretty blew the board, right, Seth?
Yeah, he blew the board easily, too, on like nothing. It was picking it up. It was like crazy. Grill Piece says, I think the EX30 is going to corner better than any wheel to date at speed. Just speculation, of course. Yeah. Certain wheels, get to us. Okay, Vibes, he rides in New York all the time. He says Monster Pro. Yo, Malcontent Youth, what's up, man? What's going on, brother? Listen, I'm only saying S22 because I don't think you need top speed. I don't think you're gonna be flying around at 50 miles per hour, but I do think you're gonna need the suspension.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love my Monster Pro. I absolutely love it, but right now, even with the suspension topping out on my Master, which I can't figure out. Like I go down and it's soft. When it comes back up, it's like dunk, dunk. I'm like, what the hell? And I can't seem to adjust it. Other people in the chat from the last stream said mine's doesn't do that, and I'm like, well, damn, I don't know. Maybe it's because I got 400 psi in my suspension.
Jules, looking at the chat, Jules had a good point. The Broadway Bomb, it's going to be a short ride.
Yep.
S22 would do great for that, but the range might be something I need to consider for New York.
That's true.
So S22 would have me stopping to charge. It's got decent range for what it is, but not the range of a Monster Pro.
But are you going to be going for an epically long ride? What do you?
I don't know.
Because the Broadway Bomb is not.
If the New York guys want to bring me on a long ride, I'm down. I did 100 miles. I've done 100 miles in a single ride already.
Okay.
So I'm down for it.
If that's what you're thinking, then you have to bring the Monster Pro. If that's what you're thinking, because it is the wheel. Like the Monster Pro.
Yeah. And just not ride it at top speeds, because I don't know those roads and I don't want to hit a pothole that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I look. Ronan says if you have suspension wheel, I don't know why you want to bring a non-suspension wheel. No, because of range. Ronan, I agree with you, bro. And he's got the Master. He had the Master for one of the first guys there to have it. And I agree with you, bro. I wouldn't be going without my suspension wheel now because I have a Master, even though the Master has short range. I have range anxiety on the Master. When I know I'm only going to get like 40 miles if I push it, then I'm like, well, it's not like I can go balls to the wall and then not be worried about it. I got my charger, right? I got to charge because, and I really would like to have 2 chargers so I could double charge fast, and get back out there, and I'm, maybe I know my charger got damaged in the transition back home. FedEx, they obviously were throwing our wheels around because several people got some damage on their wheels, and my charger has a dent and it's like open a little bit, and I'm using it because I have no choice. But oh, he said bring the V13. We know you secretly have it. Vibes. And Ronan said NYC riders don't do long range rides except some exceptions, and that's I mean, most of the rides are quick, short jaunts, so I think you'll be all right.
True.
Yeah, and he said 30 to 40 miles at a time in New York, then charge anyway. That's Wheelie Brady. So
yeah.
I mean, they're giving you. My EUC journey said just send both.
You guys aren't making this decision easy.
They're not making it easy at all.
It's a pretty good 50-50 split right now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, if I had a choice between the Master and the Monster Pro, I'm gonna bring the Master. Just because the potholes in the suspension, it's just comfy. It's just comfy. Yeah. And the Monster Pro, on the other hand, I know I'm just fucking you up even more, but the Monster Pro also, the 24-inch tires soaks up those bumps as well. Just not as good, So I don't know. EUC vibes. Yeah. He said the Rev Rides NYC group ride is gonna be lit.
EUC vibes.
You going, Tommy? You gonna make he always makes the Broadway Bomb unless something comes up.
And I will be joining as many group rides as I can while I'm there. I've got a little bit of business I got to take care of with some of my repair centers over there, but I'm coming in on Friday, 7 a.m. So I'm taking a red eye Thursday night.
Okay.
So I'll be on a plane, well rested. I sleep great on a plane. We'll land there Friday morning. I'll be there all day Friday.
You know what? I recently found out, because I didn't realize the dates. I recently found out I'm going to be, I have military that weekend, so I'm not going to be able to be there Saturday day. So I'm probably going to come in the afternoon after you guys do the bomb, after you guys are hanging out later, because I got to bring some stuff for Chris Clark. I got to meet somebody with some gear for them. So I'm gonna come up there after the Broadway bomb. I'm not gonna make it for the bomb, but I don't know. It depends on how I feel like driving. I might come up Friday if you're there Friday day. If I can get out Friday and get up there, I might just to hang out and ride with you a little bit. I know you say you got some business to take care of and stuff, but we'll see. If not, then it'll be probably late afternoon Friday. I mean Saturday. I'll get up there.
Saturday. So I'm there all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and I don't fly home until Monday night.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be there all day Monday also.
We'll definitely get to ride.
So we'll try to get some riding in.
Yeah. That means I gotta get my other suspension on that Master pretty quick. I need to paint it up. I gotta repaint. My poor Master is still a hot mess after the events of the Amped Electric Games and the Wheel Life Rally. There's dirt everywhere. I gotta clean it, repaint it, and like make her pretty again. She was pretty. Now she looks thug. She looks gutter. I gotta pretty her up, so I'm gonna put the new suspension on so I can test it out in New York City on this. But I got a week. I got time. I got over a week, so I got time. It's it's coming up. It's the 15th, right? Yeah, 15th.
Saturday.
So many dates in my head, so many things going on. So, all right, people, we're gonna wrap it up because look, 2 hours and 10 minutes. See what I said? What I tell you, Nathan? We try to make it.
I didn't have more than an hour in me, but here we are, 2 hours in.
I told you it happens every time. Yo, oh, hold on, Pepperfingers, what's up? I don't know. He said the size of the fast charger for the Master looks ridiculous. Maybe too big to carry. Is the stock charger much smaller? The stock charger for the Master is not big at all. It's a decent size, a regular size charger. It's not big at all. So I would just get 2 of those as opposed to because I think somebody else told me that the fast charger is like super big. I did also buy that one that was going around. It's in the drawer over there. I'm not gonna get it, and it's pretty big, and you can change the voltage and stuff. So I do have a fast charger I can use. I'm just scared to use it because you got to set all these things, and I'm afraid I'm gonna set it wrong and like cause some damage and turn it on fire. I don't know. So but all right.
Roger said his charger's the best. I would agree. Roger built a pretty sweet charger.
Roger did build a great charger. If you guys are looking for a charger, talk to Roger because Roger knows his shit, and he put together something pretty good. And he showed me. We were video chatting. He was showing me what he came up with, and I love it. So I think I may just grab one of his just to help out, just to support and to because I mean I could always use another charger, but it's nice when you got a charger you can use with different wheels and stuff. So I got a drawer full of chargers. I'm like, that don't make no sense. Makes no sense. It'd be nice to have a charger you could just change but anyway. All right, Nathan, before we go, is there anything that you need to say to the people right now that are watching? Any information from Rev Rides or message you want to give to the people? Let them have it.
Oh man, you should have let me prep for this one.
Test. Spotlight on.
All right, I think the community should pat yourselves on the back. I have never been part of anything so amazing in my life. And I worked for great companies in my past as an engineer. But this industry is full of positive energy. The events have all been amazing. The support that the community does, the amount of money that the community spends when this is not their business, even this live broadcast, right? So shout out to all of you guys for helping build this industry. We are just blessed to be a part of it and provide, the wheels and support for it. But it's the community that is making this all happen and is going to be the catalyst that will get this into the masses and change people's lives and the way we commute around a city. So just a big shout out to the community. Nothing specific from Rev Rides. If you ever have any problems with your wheels or you're looking for another wheel or a scooter, give our team a call. We'd love to help you out.
All right, you guys heard that from Rev Rides, Nathan. I can tell you, I'm gonna give you the same message, guys. That I love this community. You guys have been fantastic, very embracing, and helpful to each other. I love that we keep helping each other. Continue to do that. Continue to put your best foot forward. Continue to be good wheel ambassadors and full of positivity when you're out there riding. Please, please, please gear up. Please gear up. I haven't been as vocal about it because I had to come to the realization that obviously I can't tell people what to do. But please, people, I see so many videos still I see so many videos of people riding without gear. And it's one thing if you're riding around the warehouse. It's one thing you're riding around, in your yard. But if you're going out for a ride, please gear up, people. There's been too many injuries. We've had some serious injuries, and people have done things that they didn't expect these injuries to happen, and they weren't geared up. So it happens when you least expect it. I can attest to that. I was geared up for my shoulder, but I scraped the skin off my knees prior to that because I forgot my knee pads. I'm like, oh, just stupid. So please, there you go, right there. So gear up, throw it, find something you like. I mean, the gear I'm wearing now, I like. I could throw a jersey on over the top of my gear, and I still have the shoulder pads, the back pad, the chest, and everything underneath, and it's comfortable. Or when it gets cold like now, I throw on my lazy rolling jackets and make it happen. So be sure to gear up. Before we go, I do want to give a shout out to Chris Clark Pads, man. At least I believe that's Chris because he's got it up there. It could be either Chris or Tony. Either one, I want to give a shout out to Clark Pads. You guys are very supportive, and I appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, thanks for coming by and talking, guys. Please, before you guys step out, go ahead and hit that like button. Be sure to do that. Support Nathan and Rev Rides, family-owned company, doing great things. And also, Nate, I want to talk about a scooter possibly. Until next time, guys, remember, be safe and keep your wheel. Deuces.
All right, guys.